What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So today we're going to jump in and we're going to take a look at Thanos. Now, unfortunately, this is going to be no way that unless you are paying to play and you are on the whale side, that you're going to basically hit this mark. Like, I'm basically at 25% over 3 days because I basically get that 8.3% or so like increment every day, and it's going to probably take me a week or two basically to do this. But I'm not crying about it because I don't have a reason to basically accelerate his potential, because they still haven't given us a way to basically increase our rate or capability of getting any of our tier 4 materials. So if you were to look inside here, no matter what, I probably wasn't going to reach the mark of being able to get a Thanos to tier 4 in the first place. Like, you can look at my numbers here. We don't have a way. Like, it's just, unless I pay for the play of it, I just won't. Now, my Thanos is kitted out the way he's kitted out, and I like Thanos. Thanos is one of my favorite characters to play inside PvP, which is the reason why I had him as Mighty CTP of Regeneration. I still want to keep him inside PvP. I'm a little concerned about whether or not he will shine as much in PvP at tier 4. So I'm going to leave my CTP of Regeneration on him in the hopes that that's what it is. Now, his uniform options aren't so bad, to be honest with you. So, like, let's take a look at those. You've basically got Doc Ock. No Way Home uniform is kind of sad because we just got the new Doc Ock uniform, but it's like, it's a miss there. We got Doctor Strange spacesuit, and it's like, it's another miss. Like, that Doctor Strange spacesuit is irrelevant, right? We get Sunbird that's sitting inside here, and this is a really bad one because the Sunbird uniform basically is like a pay to play again, so I need a mega uniform upgrade ticket to basically max him out. Not to mention, it's Sunbird. So, like, it is what it is. Now, we get a little bit better in terms of Marvel Studios Loki with the TVA uniform, although we do have another we have Loki coming soon. Well, I don't know how far out we're from Loki. I have to look it up. I can't remember when the new Loki season is going to start. Maybe it's a year away or something like that. But for the moment, this is not a bad uniform to have for Loki. And then we've got Team Suit Hulk, which is another bad option because it's like, who's not using the current version of Hulk? Like World Breaker Hulk or whatever. Fear Hulk, excuse me. It just makes no sense. So wait, did I say in the beginning those were good options? These are all terrible options. So you basically had a 0 out of 5 on uniform options for this expensive uniform. Yeah, so like, because bad, well, no, good and bad. So you got like a 1 out of 5 in here. So in terms of uniform option ratings, this is totally terrible. Now, if I always like to look at how terrible it is based on like what stat I'm exactly trying to go after here, and mostly you can look at that third stat and you like recovery rate, ignore defense, skill cooldown, attack speed. Most people won't need any of these stats realistically other than the HP, so you lose out on some HP for a character that probably really needs the HP pool because he doesn't have a revive mechanic, especially if you're playing PvP. Although it's really hard to kill Thanos sometimes because he has such a big healthy pool of HP and he can like recover as well. So, I don't look at it necessarily too bad, but it's Sunbird, so it's bad. So now, like I said, the uniform is expensive. It's 2,500 crystals. There's no discount on it. And if there's no waiting for this either. So if you miss out on this period, the April period of performance, basically to get this uniform, you basically miss out on it. Now, also, I have to say this. I don't like the uniform. I really don't like the uniform. Not in terms of what it plays as, but I don't like the uniform. The way it looks is so simple, like, especially when you mash that up with Squirrel Girl, like the pants, I mean, they look like a tree, so he kind of looks like a tree. It's weird, right? And then you get the little rippled, undetailed gauntlet or, wristband, and the shirt is just, like, I get it. He's supposed to have the homely farmer look, but I don't know. I feel like they did my man dirty. It's not the thing I look. And then he's got this damn hoe in his hand, and the stick ain't even detailed. Like, it just looks terrible, man. The rust on the hoe right here looks pretty cool, right? But yeah, I'm not a fan of this look. These type of looks is the reason why, like, I keep advocating for a transmog system to be included in the game, because the uniform is actually really decent and really cool in terms of the power up that it gives him. But I am, especially because it makes Thanos a playable character inside PvE, but it's a look and a feel that I don't want to play as, right? Like I want the uniform effect, I want the uniform effect and the skill change bonuses, but I want to transmog the uniform look. And I get it. It makes it a little bit hard to do, especially for like a skill change the way they did it here with the character, and you'll see what I mean by that. Because Obsidian Thanos is not gonna look right doing some of the skills here. But let me show you what I mean by that, and then you'll probably get an idea. So he still keeps all the basic same things that he had on his previous uniform effect that was there, but he gets quite a big change of skills overall. Not a whole lot. Like it says 9 skill changes, but there weren't 9 skill changes. We'll take a look at these, right? So let's go inside here and preview these skills, because this is gonna be funny. So let's go with Thanos' first skill inside here. Like this hoe, man, he just, like, I think that's what this tool is called. I don't know. I'm not a goddamn farmer. So we go with his one skill. You basically end up with a skill that could be guard broken easily, because if you notice when he started out the animation, there was no iframes inside of that skill. So he basically rushes forward. There's nothing happening about 2-3 skills. So I have to see if he gets guard broken during that skill. But I don't imagine this is going to be a skill that you rotate into very much. Like you see Titan Agriculture, there's not a whole lot there, right? So it's no big worry necessarily there. Now we go into his 2 skill, and you basically get this skill where he just basically like crosses a cross slash across the ground. Yeah, so you kind of want to rotate into that skill if you were playing PvP, because it removes the active buff from a target. But again, it's just one of those skills. And now this is the part where we're gonna end up where it's like, why they do my man dirty? Like this skill already looks like he's popping tulips or something like that. Like that's essentially what I see, right? Like tiptoe through the tulip. I know it's not tulips, but it's just a skill that is like, I don't want to see that on my Thanos. Like that's not the skill rotation I want to see on my Thanos. I really don't. It's not a good look to me, right? So hey, I'm not a fan of the skill. Like, to be perfectly honest, it's just not a good look to me overall. Now you see on here he has the frenzy buff, the chance to grant all damage immunity, and he has the incapacitation on the skill as well. But it's one of those skills. It's just like, it's not my thing. It's not my jam. Yeah, I don't like it, right? So then we roll into his 4th skill. His 4th skill, like it's really basic. Like it's pretty goddamn basic. Like, to be honest with you, his 4th skill kind of reminds me like taking a step back to like some of the older uniforms from like 3-4 years ago, where like your basicness of a skill attack just like looked really basic. And that's this. Like, it's like, yeah, he just basically like slams the ground and that's it. Like a whole lot of nothing's basically happening there. But this is going to be his main powerhouse skill as well, so you see what I mean in a minute. Now on his 4th skill, you basically see he's got like everything on the skill. Applies to enemy, bleed, shock, stun, fracture, paralysis, and he gets the 80% penetration with the invincibility. So it's there, right? Don't really like the skill though. Overall, it just looks terrible. His 5th skill, like you see like the squirrel ride in, and it just drops in a scarecrow Thanos. Like, bro, like I finally have a Thanos that can play PvE, but I don't want to play him. Like I don't want to play him. Like that's essentially what I'm looking at. And so you look at his 5th skill, and it's cool because for the first time we basically see Thanos has a damage accumulation skill, and it's when attacking. So, you know, it's just weird. Like, you know, I don't know, man. I'm not happy about it. He still retains his 6th skill, and nothing's changed about his tier 3 at all. You know, he throws the black hole basically, and then, you know, crushes down on everything. Now Thanos does gain his tier 4 ability, and you can see it inside here. Basically gets decrease all basic attacks by 50, increase basic damage by 20, and increase chain hit damage by 30. So this is what I mean. I'm not a fan of this. Like, it's weird because you end up with a Thanos who can do PvE now. He's not going to do it at the highest levels, but he can do PvE in terms of like giant boss raid. He can do it in terms of like world boss legend, but it's just like, I don't want to play this like. So let's go through his skill rotations. Pretty easy inside for Thanos. There's no real delays inside of you. Basically go 5, 3, and then 4. And so like that's going to get you the most of your damage hit. You can see like it stacks up the numbers and you're getting all of it mostly from your 4th skill inside of here, right? So on his 2nd rotation, you can see it's a little bit different. It's basically looking at your uptime of your tier 3, and you're going to rotate 6, which is going to help you get out some of the damage, and then you can go 5, 3, 4. So it's basically the same rotation. 6. Hey, how did I fail that? It's so weird when the game does this, because it's like I didn't press anything. You didn't give me anything to press, but you're basically on 6, 5, 3, and then 4. So it's a slight, ever so slight delay cancel, like a 1 second delay on your 6 into your 5. And then finally, it just basically comes out. And realistically, if your tier 3 is up, this is the rotation you're probably going to go through. With your tier 4 is going to be 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 5, 3, 4. Excuse me. So it's just 7, 6, 5, 3, and then 4. That's it, and that's essentially the character, and it makes sense the way the rotations are actually played. It's another reason why I actually enjoy this skill combo preview, even though I put $21,000 out of, like, that was the website for Future Fight rotations. Basically made them obsolete at this point, but it's I really enjoy this because it gives players a chance to practice with those characters. And my hope is that, and I think I've actually been seeing it, is that people that are basically like rolling into giant boss raid are knowing how to play their characters that they have there a little bit better. They might not have the best builds on them, which I think there's a simple way of addressing that as well, and I think that they should do that. And this one of the things I want to finish the video off with, right? So essentially you've got like a Thanos inside of here that basically can play PvE, can be used inside PvP as well. It's just whether or not he's not like at the top of the pack in terms of supervillains or universal characters. So let's take a look at that overall inside the team, so that way you can understand this. So let's go back here and look at the team, and then we can come inside here. We can look at universal characters on a whole, and you can see like we've got a shit ton of universal characters, right? Like there's a whopping amount of them. And so like the question about the universal character status for him in terms of him getting his T4, he's already going to be out ahead of the pack because we don't have characters like Gore at T4. We don't have characters like Null at T4. We still don't have Sentries at T4. We still don't have Silver Surfers at T4. But what we're really looking at him is still taking him into supervillain T4, because that, or universals, is where he's going to be. So when you look at the universal T4 characters inside of here, this is where he's going to be stacking up eventually down the road at terms of like looking at tier 4 characters, right? So like for the life of me, I can't imagine for the majority of these characters that you're basically looking at having a better supervillain tier T4 other than Jean Grey. Like he's not hitting above Jean Grey with this uniform. That's just the truth of the matter. Like not in any way, shape, or form. So the question would be, when you see these characters, probably these 3 in particular, and I guess maybe to some degree Loki as well. Yeah, because those are the characters I basically see like getting T4 in the future. If we go into another 9 years of Marvel Future Fight, is Gore, Null, Doctor Doom, and probably Loki with the immediacy. And maybe, actually, I forgot, the Marvels is coming up this year, so you may end up with a tier 4, but she's probably going back to superhero, so she does not get included. So you're basically like Null, Gore, Doctor Doom, and then looking at Loki. I guess that's essentially what you're looking at in terms of him stacking up. Hopefully this doesn't become the uniform that he's keeping inside here. Now, overall, I think the character and uniform is pretty good. It's one of those uniforms that I feel like, you don't know when you're going to get another Thanos update. So you have to figure that out. But that's basically the character in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll let you guys know. I'll give another update when I get this video to tier 4, when I can get the character going to tier 4, because I do intend on tier 4. Until next time, peace.